Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz, and welcome back to Pesterquest. And welcome back to the Jake route. We're getting pretty close to the end of this game, and whatever's going on, which I'm pretty sure is going to somehow involve Doc Scratch in the end. Possibly. But we are going back to the Page of Hope. And this decision to either agree to help him or do nothing. And I think I already said last time that we were going to start off with saying agree to help. Of course you're going to help Jake. Oh. Of course you're going to help. Jake asked, didn't he? You think through your old bag of friendship tricks, encouraging him to talk to people about his feelings. It'd probably be good, but it's a little complex. He has 3 different relationships with these kids, all with their own sets of problems. And you're not convinced that Jake is really up for confrontation yet. Your best bet is probably forging unlikely connections through your powers of teleportation and friend matchmaking. You think proudly of the time you introduced Daria and Tizaya from Friend Sim, which I need to probably finish at some point. Someone who'd struggled with the questions Daria was facing, but found a more constructive solution. That's what you need. Not someone similar to Jake, but a good foil. Someone who will be able to call Jake on his advoyance. You need the ultimate pull-no-puncher. An expert in tough love. You need Vriska Circuit. I doubt if she's the best one. Mainly because she kind of did what she did to Tavros for tough love. No. You ask Jake if you might take the initiative to introduce him to another one of your friends. Someone who has the kind of take-no-bullshit approach that he needs to cultivate. Someone who can really help. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. Might take a little bit to get back into his thing from last episode. Lead on, buckaroo! Or maybe not. You clap your hands matly on his shoulders and zap on over to Vriska. You expect her to be in her hive, but when your field of vision clears, you're at the beach again. You've appeared a diplomatic distance away, not right up in her face. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. But Vriska is walking down the beach, hands in her pockets, occasionally aiming a disaffected kick at a piece of trash. You call out to her and wave her over. Her face splits into a grin at the sight of you. It gives you a warm glow, like you've befriended someone's mean cat who never gets along with visitors. Interesting. Maybe more like someone's mean mountain lion. Hey there. Hi, Vriska. What is she doing on this beach? I came here looking for my stupid fish friends. Terezi and I need an explosive device for a thing. And as much as I hate to admit it, Ampora isn't bad at making them. I can believe that. But he's not even here. I can't even find him the one time I ever want to see him. Ever. Figures. My so-called friends leaving me to do all the work again. Is this kind of self-starter energy that Jake could really learn from? If I could talk, maybe? Speaking of, you start to introduce your friends to each other. But when you turn to Jake, he's frozen, his face caught in an expression of shock and wonder. Maybe you should have mentioned your friend was an alien. You keep forgetting to mention things like that. As you look at him, Jake rallies, snapping to such a ramrod posture of you half expect him to salute. He opens his mouth to speak, then shuts it. You can talk to her, you prompt. It's okay. Yes. Righto. Holy smokes, I'm ruffled as a baby's bonnet to meet you, Miss Vriska. I'm poised and trembling on the lip of your pit of knowledge, just ready to fall into the expectant abyss. I'm happy to learn whatever you can teach me. Although, I must say, when my pal here intimidated, they had a friend who could help. I didn't expect you to be of such a blue and spidery persuasion. Of course. Why would anyone be anything else when they could be blue and spidery? You have a solid point there, my extraterrestrial associate. I hope you'll pardon my candor, but a real gentleman doesn't hide from the truth. You may be the coolest girl I've ever seen in my entire life. Clears throat nervously, hoping he didn't overstep. You might have overstepped when you say what you do. Well, I can't say I'm surprised to hear it. Feel free to keep listing things that are awesome about me. Despite his professed admiration for Vriska, however, Jake isn't listening. Hang on, wait. Technically, the only other girl I've seen was my grandma. But you know what I mean? It's kind of disrespectful to refer to one's own grandmother as a girl, so I didn't mean her. Haha, gosh, I seem to be rambling. Well, I hope this is a radiant exemplar of the kind of being true to myself I hope to cultivate as a regular habit from here on out. I think it can be very brave to just keep being yourself even when things feel awkward. Don't you think so? Oh, wow. There's so many things wrong with that. I don't even know where to start. Oh boy. Oh, doggone it. Really? This is why I need your help, Miss Vriska. I don't see anything wrong with any of that at all. Here I am going around thinking what I'm saying to everyone is tickety-boo, and it turns out it has all been a load of cattywampus fiddle-faddle. Oh man, this is the nicest present anyone's ever gotten me. She's addressing you now, ignoring Jake's question. A predatory shark smile spans her pointy face. You must have known things were getting bad with Tavros, in a different way than usual, I mean. You just kind of stopped responding in the same way he did before. And not even because, okay, I read that wrong. And not even because of his fakey fraud confidence. He just said no good can come of talking to me. I'm kinda glad of Tavros, because he kinda needed that. So you brought me a new nerdy loser. This rules. I knew this was going to be kind of the thing that would happen. It kind of happened in Homestuck, but... Well, that wasn't exactly what you expected, although now that you think about it, why didn't you expect this? Pretty much anyone could have seen this coming. Okay, face, palm, yeah. Hey! Except Jake, of course. I may have my little quirks and quibbles, but that doesn't mean I am a loser! If you weren't a lady, I dare say such slanderous language would earn you a one ticket to Fisticuff Island. which now that I think about it, is more or less an inappropriate marqueur for my permanent residence. How do you like them Granny Smith apples? This is hilarious. I've never met anyone who makes me feel so good about myself. I'm so lucky to be cool. Excuse me, but I haven't heard hide nor hair of any apology yet, Miss Rude Alien Girl. At least Jake is standing up for himself, but you get the feeling that his enthusiastic bravado wouldn't hold up if the issue was an interpersonal one with his friends. Either way, Vriska is not backing down. She sizes Jake up, steps forward to intimidate him. Do you really want to fight? Because I get the feeling you're whatever your planet's equivalent of. Sometimes I really hate the quirks when they put certain things. Coluses. I may not know what that means, but I've never once backed down from a scrum, and I'm not about to start now, chump. Whoa, no. You are not going to let two of your best friends, a category that includes all of your friends, throw down right in front of you. Especially not after Vriska compared Jake to Tavros. Doesn't she remember the consequences of fighting Tavros? Doesn't she want things to go differently here? Wait. What's that supposed to mean? Oh no, you didn't mean any offense. You know Vriska has been through a lot, and her past mistakes should be viewed with that context. But you know Vriska didn't mean to hurt Tavros as much as she did, right? Vriska is no longer having fun. She's turned to you now, her mouth set in a line, fists clenched at her side. You remember how magical it seems to have earned her friendship? And how easily Vriska can lash out when she thinks her friends have turned on her? You think you know what went down between me and Tavros? Tavros was almost as pathetic as this guy. I was trying to help him get stronger. But every time I did, he just folded like a loser. He barely even tried to fight back. He was too scared and wimpy. And everyone always gets mad at me for pushing him. But that's what our planet is going to do to him. If he doesn't get stronger, he'll die. Trying to protect him from danger is just letting that happen later. I would even say I'm the only one who ever really cared about him. At least I tried to help him shape up. You almost forgot Jake is here, but at this, he makes an indignant noise. And you turn to see that his anger and distress has ratcheted it up several notches. Well, pardon me, Spider Smurfette, but it doesn't sound like you were much of a friend at all. Oh God, you nudge Jake, trying to let him know that Vriska can be a little scary and it might not be the best to push her on this, but Jake isn't listening. Well, no matter how much you might think you're doing this fellow a favor from what you've said, he was really scared and sad. And I'm sorry, but that doesn't make anyone stronger. It just makes them scared. Even if you think it's good for him, or even if he says it was what he wanted. Like, maybe when he was talking about having a fighting partner, what he really wanted was companionship due to being alone all the time. I think he's getting what he needed out. And to be totally candid, it's hard to believe you didn't know that. Which means it really is more about what you want than what's best for him, even though you keep saying it's what's best for him, which makes it really hard to argue. Anyway, if you ask me, you're a rotten friend, and I don't think I want to be one of mine. I don't want you to be one of mine after all. Before Vriska can respond, and almost inevitability makes things worse, you cut her off. Enough is enough. You tell her you're sorry for making assumptions. You know that she's doing the best she could with the raw deal she was given in this culture. You offer her a quick thanks for the this hellish social interaction and ask for some time alone with your incipient friend here. Vriska still looks annoyed, but there's a moment where you're scared she won't let it go. But she does, stepping back and rearranging her facial expression to apathy. You guess pushing it would mean admitting she cares about your opinion of her. Whatever. Talk to you loser. Talk to you later, nerds. After she leaves, you put a comforting hand on Jake's shoulder. That got pretty raw, huh? It kind of seemed like it, in the end there, he wasn't talking about Vriska at all. Like there was someone else he wanted to say all that stuff to. Huh? No, this was nothing to do with me. It was about some weird alien situation. You gently suggest that this might be one of those situations the two of you were talking about earlier, where Jake is suppressing the truth because it's inconvenient to acknowledge. Doesn't it bear some slight resemblance to a situation in his own friend group? Jake averts his gaze, clearly uncomfortable. No way all my friends are best in show. And even if what you're implying was true, it's different when it's your friends. A man can get by without his bros, so sometimes he has to make allowances. Certain, let's say, I'm trying to say this word, I know it, I just can't say it for some reason. Eccentricities, there we go, are just what you have to put up with when best friends are involved. No, they're not. You're allowed to hold your friends accountable. This is weapon-grade interpersonal truth you're spouting. But Jake doesn't look enlightened. Instead, he's growing red in the face with indignance. What would you know about it anyway? Not to be rude, but it is a very personal situation between a fella and his buddies. I don't think I appreciate what you're implying. You don't want to get frustrated, but Jake did ask for your help. The two of you came here because you were going to face up to the hard truths about Jake's life. Doesn't Jake want to do that? Well, of course I do. I'm ready to take a hard look in the old rum peeper, and don't you doubt it. It's just that when it comes to my friends, I don't think you're saying any of them were bad. I thought you were encouraging me to take things in a more forthright direction because, well... Tugs at collar nervously. Because of their feelings towards me? Gosh, it sounds stupid when I say it like that. I hope you know I'm not some kind of pompous braggart. Some of his things. Making myself out to be some slick Casanova type. I'm probably just making it up. I'm the kind of guy who gets confused easily, especially with the number of concussions I've sustained over the years. A real beef-witted bozo, that's me. But more than once, I've gotten an inkling that some of my friends might be giving me the old eagle eye. Firing up the old courting maneuvers, if you get my drift. So when you say things weren't right between me and the friends, that sort of where I thought the personal change train was heading. An impression only further bolsters when you proceeded to introduce me to your blue arachnid-themed friend. I figured you remembered my sapphire sirens from my room. You know, Natari and all that. It was a sweet gesture, though, although, just so you're aware, she's a little too young for me to take that kind of interest. I appreciate the thought, though, just some constructive criticism for next time. Now you're tempted yourself to say aloud some kind of goofy RP action indicating your embarrassment. You don't, though, because it sounds stupid when Jake does that. Jeez, this is a mess. This kid has issues on issues. And when you think you've put your finger on one, it slides away to reveal 3 more. You're playing personal growth whack-a-mole over here. But you gamely draw yourself up and plunge forward, determined. Where's Frisk when you need him? And by that, I meant them by, yeah. Okay, you tell Jake, so if that's what he thought you were going to talk about, let's talk about it. How does it make him feel, thinking his friends are all attracted to him? What does he plan on doing about it? Oh, you know, I think all that malarkey will work itself out over time. I figure I'll wait until someone brings it up and then just go along with what they think we should do. Really? That's a strategy? It seems remarkably lackadaisical. It does work in the end, somehow, sorta. And well, does it? And it gives you that sinking feeling again about what's in store for future Jake. Does he actually return any of those feelings? Sure I do. My friends are the cat's pajamas. I don't mind saying I really love them. Right, of course. But is there any one of them he feels differently about? What would he say if, for example, Jane asked him out? I'd say yes, of course. How would I say no to a top Sheba like Janie? She's smart as a whip with a mug to match. Alright, and what about Roxy? A fella would have to be daft as a doorknob to turn down Roxy. She's a genuine tech hacker spy like in all of my favorite movies. And Strider? Are you kidding? Strider's my best bro in the world, and I'm a mighty strapping gent if we're getting into it. I can't think of any reason to say no to a proposition like that from my best bud. The way Jake conceives of things is just far enough off from your own viewpoint. You can't help feeling like you're passing by each other's without really connecting. For example, he doesn't have to have a reason to say no to a friend asking him out. It comes down to his feelings. Does he really have strong feelings for any of these people? Like, stronger feelings than he has for Nateri? Whoa, hey, now that's not really fair. Nateri is a perfect woman. No, you insist. It is fair. If someone has feelings for him, he should not be with them unless he has stronger feelings for that real flesh and blood and person than he does for a poster of Nateri. It's important. Well, if you put it that way, I don't know if I've ever had feelings like that. I don't even know if I am capable of those feelings. If that's the case, then he needs to be prepared to tell his friends that. It's not like he has to have these conversations now, but someday the feelings his friends have need to be addressed, and he needs to be ready to turn them down. He needs to make these decisions. He can't just wait for things to resolve on their own and deal with the consequences later. Huh. Wow. He doesn't sound nearly as excited about personal growth as he did before. He just sounds dejected. I must say, you've given me a lot to think about. That's a good thing, you remind him. He's learning important things. Well, sorry, but a lot of people tell me it's important for me to learn various things. And for sure, sometimes they're right. I've never assumed the image of a chap who knows everything. But you've also been telling me I can stand up for myself sometimes. Make my own decisions about what's right instead of letting other people tell me how to live. And I just don't think I agree with you on this. He sneaks a guilty look at you from under his sad, bowed head. What I mean is, I like making my pals happy. Even if I'm not always sure about it, if I want the things they want. And I can't imagine the consequences could really be that bad. I think that in matters of the heart, I'm fine just going with the flow. No offense, but the way you're advocating I go about it seems hard and sad. I don't want to hurt people. Oh, Jake, how I can relate to you. Right now, I really think it's the best if I just sit back and see how things work out. And if someone asks me to do something, I might as well try it. That's just the kind of adventure boy I am. You want to respect Jake's choices, but you can't help the exasperation rising up in you. Sure, he can decide how he wants to conduct his friendships. But the approach he's talking about is really unhealthy. If he wants to do right by his friends, he has to be honest with them and with himself. Oh. Otherwise, it's not fair to anyone. I see what you're saying, but if you want my 100% bona fide opinion, I don't think I can do that. I guess we had different ideas about what we were getting into with this. He can do it, though. All he has to do is try. Jake is shaking his head. I'm sorry, I know you were really trying to help. I'm sure you're an excellent compadre, just like Spider-Girl said, but this isn't working for me. Maybe you should just take me home now. I can figure out some way to deal with the robot. He's still well below the average Jake level of energy. You can see that you really affected him, but you're far from confident that your intervention is going to make any difference in the long run. Despite his seeming earnesty, you guess Jake wasn't as ready for change as he thought he was. Wait a fucking second, is this a bad end? A horrible powerlessness threatens to overwhelm you. All at once, it makes you ferocious. This isn't fair. Jake gave you a choice between two options. You chose to help him face his problems. You know that was the right choice. You didn't do anything wrong. You were kind and patient. You talked to him sincerely and pushed him into the right direction. You deserve a good end. You deserve to save him. But you can tell Jake is emotionally closing up. You're willing to bet the conversation the two of you just had was among the most candid of his life, and he isn't ready for another. You want so badly to help him. You know exactly the changes he needs to make, but you can't make those changes for him. He needs to do it himself. And he's just not ready. Maybe he'll never be. You hate this. You hate Jake, and you hate yourself. Making people's lives better is the one thing that gives your piecemeal existence any meaning, and he's taking this away from you. His stupid inability to face his issues is ruining your life. You linger as long as you can, but eventually you have to do it. You gotta take the L. I'm just laughing at the guy, the player character's reaction. That's hilarious. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. I think the Alpha Kids are going to be a little bit longer with how they are, like 3 parts instead of just 2. Although I had a few multiple parts other than 2 with some of the other ones in the past too. But with how more complex the Alpha Kids have been, might need to have more than just 2 things, even if it's a fail route. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this episode here, and we'll go down the other route next time. So for right now, I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please put a like on the video. If you want to see more of my content, first off, subscribe. And then ring that notification bell so you make sure you don't miss anything. And as always, I'll see you next time. Have a good day, everybody.